Welcome back to Block 4, Llamas. We are on page 363 in topic 11. And today we're talking about athletic stats and looking at that. So any kind of sport you play, eventually the coach starts keeping track of stats. So why do they want to keep stats? To know if you've improved.
To see if you're good at it.
Okay.
To see who's better.
So you can see if your stats aren't looking too good, are you likely to be put in the game? No. And if your stats stay low for several years, you might get cut or kicked off, depending on what league you're in. So today we're really going to focus on baseball stats. What kind of stats do they look at in baseball? Fielding percentage, batting average, home run average, okay, your steals, your base running, slugging percentage, on base percentage, the errors of the pitcher. Once you get to a certain level, a pitcher can't pitch more than a certain amount of pitches before they can't play a next game because their arms would get too used. So we are gonna look at this fella here, John Smith. And for those of us that aren't big baseball people, an at-bat refers to the number of times a batter goes up to the plate to get a ball thrown to them. That's an at-bat. A hit isn't just hitting the ball. A hit is when you hit the ball and you get on a base. Because I can hit the ball and they still throw me out at first. That doesn't help me any, unless it's a sacrifice and then that's something different. But a hit is not classified until you are on a base safe. Okay, so that's a big key. And batting average is calculated by taking the number of hits divided by the number of at-bats. So we're going to be looking at some of John's statistics, and he's going to need us to figure out some stuff for him. So first we're going to watch a couple of his scenarios of at-bats. And it says based on the season so far, he has a ratio of at-bats to hits of 1 to 3. So every 3 times he's at bat, he's going to get 1 hit. Okay, that's his average. So let's watch for a second. So he is currently at bat. Swing, strikes, swing, strike, and he then strikes out. So he got no hits recorded, no home runs. He's up again. He hit it, but he was out at first. So that has no hits and no home runs recorded. Okay, he hit it out of the park this time. So he has a hit recorded and a home run. He's up again. Strike, strike, strike. It could be a score, but whatever. So 1 to 4, he gets a hit. Every hit he gets has been a home run. Do I want to? Is that probably always going to happen?
No.
That was just 4 at bats. If I tracked his whole season, it's very doubtful every hit he makes is a home run. If he's striking out that much, but whatever. Poor John's getting played here. All right. So We are ready to work some of John's information, but first we need to define a couple of definitions. We have a dependent event and an independent event. Okay? Do you feel like you are a dependent or independent person?
Dependent, independent.
Okay? Independent, you own your own house, you pay your own bills, you go to work, you buy your own food. You're taking care of yourself. Independent means you are not renting a house, because if you're a renter, then you're depending on your renter. So that knocks you out of the independent category. Okay, so there's a lot of factors into independent and dependent. You as a 7th grader are what?
Independent.
Dependent. Adults mostly are independent, depending on if they are struggling, they might have financial assistance from the state. So they're dependent upon the state. They might be depending upon a relative or something to help them out. But for the most part, adults are more independent. What?
Is the husband and wife like working together to like pay off the house? Is that independent or
Independent. Okay, so more changing that more mathematically. Let's think of temperature throughout the day. When you wake up in the morning compared to when you go home in the afternoon, what has most likely happened with the temperature? It warmed up. Okay? It warmed up. So, what made it warm up?
the sun?
The sun. Okay? And is the sun going around the earth?
Yes.
The earth is turning. And so, the earth is turning. Is there anything we can do to make the earth stop turning? No. Okay? So, I have temperatures throughout the day. It very rarely ever stays one temperature for 24 hours. So, what is a day or an hour or minutes or seconds? What is that?
Time.
That's time. Okay? So I have temperature and time. One of them is independent and one of them is dependent. One of them's independent because we can't do anything to keep it from happening. Okay? Well, one depends upon the other. Can I do anything to stop the earth from turning?
No.
So when I can't stop the earth from turning, that means I can't stop time from happening. So would time be independent or dependent?
Independent.
Independent. And then the temperature is depending on the time of the day. Okay, so in this scenario, temperature would be dependent, time would be independent. You'll learn more and get really deeper into that in Algebra 1. But you've kind of learned Algebra 1. On the bottom of this page, we're going to write these definitions. Dependent event is the chance of one event's occurrence is affected by the other event. The bottom of underneath 4, you don't need all of that space. Dependent is affected by something. Independent has no effect on an outcome from anything else. Alright, so let's take a look at number 1. And it says, based on the season so far, the ratio of John getting a hit when he is at bat is 1 out of 3. If he does get a hit, the ratio of home runs to hits is 1 out of 6. And they want me, out of these 2 events, having a home run, you're writing this, and getting a hit. Those are my 2 events. They want me to figure out which one would be independent and which one would be dependent. So one of them is depending on the other one happening. Who is depending on the other one happening? Oh, Mr. Stout. Sorry.
The hit
Uh-huh.
is, no, the home run is depending on the hit.
Okay, so home run would be dependent or independent?
Defense.
Home run would be dependent. Hit is going to be independent. Can you have a home run? What happened here? Independent. I just didn't finish it. Can you have a home run without a hit? No, a hit has to happen. Then it could turn to a home run or just a hit. Okay, so a home run would be dependent. A hit would be independent. Okay, number 2 says, based on these probabilities, these that they talked about here, the 1 out of 3 and the 1 out of 6, if he goes to bat 18 times, how many hits would you expect him to make? I could solve this little kid way, number 1 through 18, and I'm looking at hits. What's his ratio of hits?
1 to 3.
1 to 3, so every third hit, he goes to bat 1 time, 2 times, 3 times he got a hit. Goes to bat, gets a hit there, a hit there, a hit there, and a hit there. So how many hits did he get out of 18?
6.
I could have done it little kid way like that. But if I'm looking at how many times out of 500 do you want to do it little kid way? Absolutely not. So I know he gets 1 hit out of how many at-bats? 3 at-bats. He's about to have how many out at-bats now? 18. 3 times what gives me 18? So 1 times 6 gives me
6.
and so 6 hits out of 18 at-bats. So instead of doing that little kid way, we could use our proportions. All right. Number 3. How many of these hits would you expect to be home runs? Let me recircle them here. Little kid way. What was my ratio of home runs? 1 out of 6. But what had to happen first?
Hit.
A hit. So I'm looking just at my hits, my red circles. So 1 out of 6 times. How many hits did he have in this 18? 6. How many of those are going to be home runs? 1 out of the 6. Okay, or if I did this big kid way, it was 1 out of 6. No. What did I want y'all? So here you can just write 1 home run. I keep saying home run. 1 home run. About did it again. Home run.
Alright, 1 dinger. What? 1 dinger?
Okay, number 4. If in a season he bats 90 times, how many would you expect to be hits? Do I want to write 1 through 90 here in circle?
No.
No. What was his ratio of hits to at bat?
1 to 3.
1 to 3. 1 to 6 was his home run. Okay, how many at bats is he about to have this season? 90. So 3 times what gives me 90?
30.
30. So 1 times 30 gives me 30. So how many hits will he have that season? 30 hits. Okay, number 5, at the top of number 5, it says John figured out that he averages 4 at-bats a game. So every game he plays, he gets to bat 4 times on average. And he realizes he's 4 home runs away from breaking the school record. And he wants us to create a simulation to see if he will be able to break the record. Okay, so number 5 says, how could John model getting a hit? Well, what was the ratio for hits? 1 to 3. So I need to model some device with 3 something, sides, sections, or something. So we could say a spinner. So how many sections in a spinner?
3.
So a 3-section spinner. Um, 6 says, how could you model getting a home run?
Dice.
What was his ratio for a home run?
1 to 6.
1 to 6. But what had to happen first? So I must say first, I forgot how I worded it. First must spin a hit then can roll
Dice.
but what's the singular form of die?
Die.
Then roll a die. So I can't roll a die just for every time he walks up to bat, because has he made a hit yet? No. He has to make a hit, then I roll a die to see if he gets a home run. Okay. 7 is breaking down our simulation steps. So here's 4 possible answer choices. What is my model that I used? A 3-section spinner and a number cube is our model. That's our device that we're going to use. A trial.
4 at bats.
4 at bats. As he goes to bat 4 times a game. Statistics of interest. What am I interested in? His number of hits or number of home runs?
Number of home runs.
He wants to break the home run record. So it would be the number of home runs that we're interested in looking at. Okay, we're going to skip number 8. We're going to kind of look at a simulation that would have to happen. So here, they gave me a spinner. How many sections does it have?
Two.
2. We said a spinner needs to have what? 3 sections. Why is theirs set up like this? Okay, they really did have 3 sections. There should have probably been a line right here, and it would have been 3 sections, but both of these sections is a no hit, because doesn't he just get a hit 1 out of 3 times?
Yes.
So these 2 sections were both labeled not a hit. So the spinner's fine. What did they change for the home runs? We said a die. What did they use? Cards, and they said card number 1 is going to be a home run. So how many cards are they probably having there?
6.
6. 1 through 6. Okay, so if I spin this and I get no hit, can I draw to see if it was a home run?
No.
There wasn't even a hit that could be a home run. So I would spin again. And how many times is he at bat a game?
No.
4. So each game has 4 spins. Okay, he got a hit that time, so can I draw a card?
Yes.
Yes. And he got a 3. Only card 1 means a home run. So did he get a home run?
No.
Nope. So moving on to the next hit. Or I got a not a hit. So I don't get to pull a card. Spin again. Not a hit. Moving to game 2. No hit. He's not working out too well here. Got a hit. All right, let's see if it's a home run. Oh, nope. All right. He got not a hit. Daggum. Moving to game 3. Not a hit. Not a hit.
Don't cry.
He's not doing. Oh, there's no crying in baseball.
This is gonna be.
I get to draw a card. 5. Not a hit. Hit. And home run. What talent? All right, spin. Oh, got another hit.
4.
Nope. Moving to game. Oh, still on game 4. Not a hit. And not a hit. Game 5. Not a hit.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Oh, not a hit.
There it is.
2 more. Oh,
This has to be a
last.
home run. This has to be a home
Oh! All right. We had 1 home run in 5 games. How many at bats was that?
Yeah.
5 games. 20 because there's 4 at bats a game. People have complained they can't hear me over your talking sometimes on the videos. There was 5 games. Each game had 4 at bats. So that he had 20 chances to have a home run. Okay? Well, number 9, they did a process for 50 games. And they recorded their findings. And they found that in how many games did he have 3 home runs in? 1. Looking at the chart. How many games did he have no home runs in? 41. How many games did he have 2 home runs in? So 1 game he had 2 home runs, another game he had 2 home runs. So this 2-2 really means how many total home runs? 4. Okay? That's important because number 9 it says, what is his mean of home runs? How do you find mean?
Add all the things up and then divide by the number of trials.
How many games did it add up to be? 50. 50 is the total games. I need to see how many total home runs. I can't add this up and get total home runs. That was the total games played. Well, 41 games he had 0 home runs. So how many home runs are there? 0. 6 games he had 1 home run each. How many home runs is that? 6. You should be writing this. 2 games he had 2 home runs each. How many is that? 4. And 1 game he had 3 home runs, which gives me 3. And no games did he have 4. So I need to add that up, and I get what? 13. To find the mean, we do 13 divided by 50, and I get his home runs per game average to 0.26, I'm pretty sure. God bless you. So his home run average is 0.26. Okay. Number 10, they want his home runs per at bat. Okay. He played 50 games. How many at bats does he have per game? 4. So I need to calculate a total of at bats. There's 4 times the 50 games. How many total at bats do I have? 200 at bats. Now I can figure out his home runs per at bats. How many home runs did he have? 13 out of how many total at bats? 200. And I don't really remember this one. 0.065. So number 9 was home runs per game. 10 is home runs per at bat. So the chance of him walking up to the base and getting a home run is 6.5%. Very kind of small percentage. The chance of each game him having a home run is 26%. Okay. I want to look at number 12 next. Says, remember that he only needs 4 more home runs to break a school record. Suppose he only has 10 games left. Can he expect to break the record based on the data from the simulation? Okay, so he has how many games left? 10. I'm going to multiply that times his average per game. What was his average per game? 0.26, 26% really. And I get 2.6 home runs per game, or not per game, home runs. Is he going to make the record based on his stats? No. Could it still possibly happen?
Yes.
It could, but based on how he's been doing all season, he would get 2 to 3 home runs and probably not break the record. Okay? All right. I'm now actually going to pull up the softball stats and show you how I look at that and compare it to this guy. They said John was a 14-year-old and his batting average was a .333. Okay. I'm going to close out my video first because I don't want all this online. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Leave a comment, and peace out, llama.